HammerTime. That's right. Here's what I'd like to talk about. And this was, you were working on this all week. The Eagles, they have the best team in football potentially. They have a chance to clinch the NFC East if they can win against the Commanders. Kevin Durant on the show. Look out for that. We'll talk about it. The passing game was the story in the win over the Steelers. Jalen sits down. That's what you wanted to see, huh? People are talking about his pretty privilege. All these crazy storylines. You're not talking about that. You're looking at the tape. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so we heard all the Eagles players and coaches after that game when they were asked, like, hey, was there an emphasis on the passing game this week? And they're like, no, it wasn't planned. We just reacted to how the Steelers were playing us. That's, after going through it's BS. Because from the beginning of the game, we saw a different approach out of this offense. You know, we know that they script those early parts. So there's an evolution that I want to look at here. Let's pull up the tape. You'll see here, nothing spectacular here. They have AJ and Devontae out wide, a heavier looking set. They're running tight end Grant Calcaterra up the seam. AJ's just going to run a slant behind that. Jalen gets us out on time, hits him in the window. Nice little completion here, but it's what happens after this that starts to get interesting because they'll stay in the same personnel grouping, go no huddle, but go empty out of it. So you'll see at the top of the screen, you get AJ and Devontae in those condensed splits. You get Saquon here at the bottom of the screen with a corner on him. So you know it's probably some type of zone. The Steelers are confused. They're trying to get lined up. Devontae is going to run this drag across the middle of the field, and you'll watch as this unfolds. Nobody really picks him up here in the middle of the field, so Jalen's going to identify that, get him the ball. You want to talk about agent of chaos. Kellen Moore, with this no-huddle, has become one. And Devontae's able to take off up the field. And we saw them go to this throughout the game, whether off of run plays, pass plays. This is another no-huddle situation. Same exact formation, same exact play. They just flip sides of the field. And you see Patrick Queen is on Saquon this time, which tells you is a dead giveaway of man coverage. This time, he could have thrown the drag again to Devontae, but you'll see that purple out there at the bottom of the screen is A.J. Brown. He sees a one-on-one man coverage matchup for A.J. Brown. Jalen's going to give him his shot, put that ball out there, let him make a play. I saw Dan Orlovsky talk about it this morning. The Eagles have used no-huddle in their run game a bunch. We haven't seen them really do this in the passing game. This was the second most empty sets they've used in a game all season, going back to week 2. So this is another layer to this passing game. If you can stay in those same personnel, run-heavy personnel groupings and spread teams out, it's really hard to account for everybody in the passing attack. We know it's already hard to account for Saquon. This is another amping up of this offense that is going to make them super dangerous going into the playoffs.
I can't wait to see this game. Go have fun with this one over on FanDuel Sportsbook. Empty sets and all. Who do you think you're talking to? Luke Kuechly? What are you? You think I'm Robert Mays with The Athletic? Empty sets. You know the numbers I look at? Yards, okay? I'm still in basics for football. 434 yards the Eagles put up on the Commanders the last time these two squads met. So now we've got Marshawn Lattimore. What we've all been waiting. Hamilton, you literally said to me they went and got Marshawn for this matchup to see how he can affect and limit and stifle and get in the way of A.J. Brown and how it impacts things. Philly's a 3.5 point favorite in this one. A.J.'s line for receiving, by the way, it's interesting. I sometimes have my stuff with like the lines and the regular and all that stuff. Like, what do you think? 77.5 is, that's a hard one. That is a hard one to pick. That's right there for me. You think well over, or what do you think on that one? 77.5 for A.J. Brown. Over.
I think we see him. I think we see the over. I do. It's hard to keep him under wraps. And, you know, I don't know if he has a monster game like we've seen in the past against the Commanders, but I think he gets to 80-plus yards.
Yeah. I think Kevin Durant just heard you and wants to put you in a headlock. We've got, yes, Superfan with the Manders.